my goodness.
Bryce just barked at him. Home plate umpire just came out. Let's cool our heads a little bit.
Got a little emotion here. Well, as I said, I mean, Harrison does have some trouble being able to throw that ball in on left-handers. He's just missed a lot of them on the arm side.
2-2.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
That ball actually, I think, hit his helmet.
Might have hit, yeah. Well, it was either that or the bat. It was definitely sounded different. The benches are emptying on the Phillies side. Nothing's happening on the Giants side yet.
I honestly do not think that Harrison tried to throw in on him here. This is a fastball that was supposed to be away.
Here come the bullpens as well. Do you think he just missed that badly?
Yes. I honestly do not think that he was trying to throw in on Bryce Harper. I think that he was trying to use the outside part, and he has been wild that way. I get why Bryce would be upset. Totally understand that.
Kyle Schwarber's in the middle of it. Now Kurt Casale comes over. Looking back at this, and we have looked at it in the production cavity, it did look like it hit the knob. Oh, now we got some shoving going on. Somebody came in, and it was Pat Burrell, I think, that may have come in and started to push a little bit. The rest of the Giants who are in the clubhouse are now fighting their way out, like Logan Webb and Blake Snell and the other starting pitchers. So Pat is being escorted back by Jorge Soler.
Something incensed Pat for some reason.
Yeah. The umpires really let this whole meeting happen. And again, we'll wait and see what the decision is, but I believe the ball hit the knob of Harper's bat. It did. So it hit the knob of Harper's bat. I don't know if the umpire called it that way. The Giants are telling Bob Melvin, who's way past the expired time to look at it.
Like way past it. They're probably going to confer to see if any one of the umpires actually saw the ball hit the bat, because he's way past the time.
Yes, so they're conferring off the first base line. Now, they usually have to meet anyway when there's a benches clearing brawl like this. It's by rule they have to get together just to discuss what they want to do, if anybody has to be warned or ejected. So we'll watch that too and see if any of the benches are going to be warned. We haven't had that this year. Another look at it. It was clear it hit the knob of the bat, and Harper's got his helmet back on anyway, so he knows that. So he's going to come back up to the plate. Again, they're talking right now about warnings and what they're going to decide to do. They're going to warn both benches as we finish up this season series. Again, it's the end of the season series between these two. And Harrison has been wild all day. And I guess in some ways you could say effectively wild. So here we go. James Hoy is the crew chief. And he's going to warn the Giants, and he's going to warn the Phillies. I don't think that's a surprise. Do you, Ruben?
No, not at all.
Particularly in this day and age. They don't let anybody police anybody anymore.
No.
Here comes Rob Thompson. He's going to come out. James Hoy will give him an explanation on it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's going to try to find out from James why it is that the Phillies are being warned.
The only thing that the Phillies should be warned about is because the benches started to clear. That was it.
Yep. Yeah, Bryce did not rush the pitcher. He did not. He stared at him after almost getting plunked twice.
Grounded down to third, a chance for two. Beatty to second for one. A tough pickup from McNeil. Are they going to call the out? They are. And then an overslide at second base by Hoskins. And we have some hard feelings as Hoskins has words with Lindor and others. A hard slide by Hoskins. They called the out at second. Both benches have emptied. The bullpens are joining it as well. Hoskins has a history with the Mets. Remember the 34-second home run trot a few years ago when he was with the Phillies. And you can see how hot McNeil is. And he is still barking.
Oh boy, they're jawing.
Now they called the out at second base despite the fact that McNeil dropped the ball, saying, I guess, that it was on the transfer.
He's saying that.
Then the question is, did Hoskins make an illegal slide that would turn that into a double play?
Right.
So I think we're going to get a multiple review here.
It was a late slide, but he had full contact with the base, in my estimation.
So they call the out on the transfer, and then,
But the problem is McNeil, if you watch it again, watch his left knee buckle. That's the issue, and that's what made Jeff angry, because I'm sure he felt he was a whisper away from getting seriously injured there.
I think he got spiked too.
No slide rule violation. Runner at second is out.
You're right, Keith. The left foot of Hoskins spiked McNeil right in the shin.
You know, and to me, that's a clean slide.
Let's see how much he hits. He's going to try to bunt for a base hit. And he will succeed. Turner's throw goes down the line. Caballero rounding second on his way to third. And he'll be out easily there, but the Rays will get a run out of it. And some words. And now a shove as the Blue Jays get out there quickly to wrap up Genesis Cabrera, and the dugouts and the bullpens have cleared.
These two ball clubs play a lot of tight games, and emotions oftentimes run pretty high. But it didn't take long for everybody to meet at third base.
Cabrera is in the dugout. Some words exchanged between him and Caballero.
Look out here. A conversation between Willie Adames and James McCann. Didn't take much to spark a big-time disagreement. Bench is empty. Bullpen's empty. This is not the first time Milwaukee has gotten into a tiff with an opponent this year.
James McCann, he's sticking up for his Orioles team. I'm not sure if he took exception to Willie Adames on a homer, but Willie and the Brewers are not going to back down.
Everybody's still milling around.
Pat Murphy and Brandon Hyde are talking at home plate too, trying to sort it out. This is why I took offense to it. Here it is.
At the top it said, on the mentality.
Brandon Hyde was quickly in between the two. If you're a Brewers fan, you gotta love the edge with which this team is playing the first month of the season. I don't know if you need benches to clear for the second time in a 3-week span, but it's clear they've got a chip on their shoulder.
Hopar didn't like that at all. Saying some stuff now to Will Smith.
Yeah, he kind of took a couple steps out towards. It was a pitch in.
And now the benches are empty.
Chris Guccione doing a nice job. He cannot control the emptying of the benches and the bullpens, but I think he did a nice job separating the two.
Hit him in the helmet. Well, let's hope he's okay. When he gets right up, how about that? You can see Kjerstad wants to stay in, but that's scary, Jeff.
It is. You never want to have anything come up around a player's head.
And now Hyde is yelling toward the Yankee dugout. Now he's going up against Wells. And now both benches are going to empty. Two frustrated
You wondered if it was going to carry over here at Camden Yards in Baltimore.
Well, that was definitely escalated, Jeff, by the manager of the Orioles. See if anybody gets thrown out of the game. Looks like Brandon Hyde is, in fact, going to get thrown out.
All right, here's Jurickson Profar training. That was boring. Didn't even have to dive or fly through the air, huh? Sometimes boring is good. Ruiz and Jurickson Profar having words, and here come the benches, and the on-deck hitter Manny Machado got in the middle of it. So this happens tonight before a pitch is thrown to Profar after his histrionics last night at the end of the game. Favorite's fired up. Let's go, boys. Now the bullpen's coming in. Just fight outs there. Why waste your time? Guys coming in from the cage, got to get late hitting in. Well, Profar last night was upset about a Hunter Harvey fastball that was up. He went down, of course. We didn't think the ball was hardly inside at all, but he was squeezing the plate, and then he got the game-winning hit and really gave it to the Nats dugout. Yeah, he was more upset about the Nats playing baseball and walking Rise right in front of him. There's Mike Schultz, Miguel Cairo there. Davey preoccupied with the umpires for the moment. Davey and Schultz have been talking back and forth right away. McGee being pulled back. We got some energy going here early. And now this adds even more intrigue to what might be happening on that first pitch. So without anything being thrown to Profar, this happens. Well, if no one was ejected, then we got our point across. That's nicely done. Nice job by Cable. And with all due respect to everything, we haven't seen that type of fire out of Cable, ever. So it appeared things were breaking up. Now a few Padres who were on their way to their dugout, just strolling back and hanging out to see what's going to happen here. Jesse Winker, his glove is laying out in left field. Dan, from your perspective down at the dugout, what did you see? What did you hear?
Well, I saw it as it was happening after the walk-off yesterday. Yeah, I'm staying back here in the camera well, but this is something that I noticed right away. I can't recall a guy hitting a walk-off and celebrating towards the opposing dugout the way that Jurickson Profar did yesterday. And as I noted at the time, Bob, when you threw to me for the start of our post-game show, there were Nationals players on the warning track the entire time that the Padres were celebrating, waiting to see whether Profar would look back towards the dugout after the celebrations were over. Talking to a few Nats about this today, some of them saying, you know, that's baseball in 2024. Guys are going to celebrate and maybe do so towards the opposing team. Other guys saying that they took exception with it a little bit. You talk to Davey Martinez all the time about celebrations, and he says that for him, a celebration should be within the dugout so that his team can celebrate amongst themselves. Once you direct that celebration towards the opponent, in Davey's mind and in a bunch of other guys' minds in the game today, the celebration takes on a different purpose, and you see Keibert Ruiz telling Jurickson Profar he didn't like it.
It was interesting. He pointed at him, then he tapped him on the shoulder, and you kind of thought everything was okay. Well, then he pointed at him again right into his chest, and then Machado came over to get involved. And that's Manny Machado talking to Keibert this time. That's why. He's a pro. He gets it. He gets both sides of the whole thing. Umpires huddling. And again, the guy at third base, Adam Hammery, is the crew chief. It's one of the younger, more inexperienced crews in the league when these all are together. Looks to me like warnings have been issued.
Yeah, this is a tough place to get out of the dugout. Just, you got to go over the railing. There's no two openings. There's only one opening. You have the peacemaker.
By the Padres on deck circle, Adam Hammery, the crew chief, still with Mike Schilt, and Mike Schilt's probably saying, well, why are we getting warned? And it's the toe line that the umpires have to get up to or step across to ensure safety, and sometimes your team hasn't done much of anything yet, and warnings go to both teams.
Uribe looks in with that blue glove, and the 1-1 pitch is rolled to first base. Hoskins fields, tosses to Uribe, covering, and there's one away in the 8th. Abner trying to put that last outing against the Yankees. Oh, and now we have some punches being thrown as Abner, Uribe, and Siri into it, and the benches have cleared. And the Brewers are not having it. Rhys Hoskins in the middle of it. And that escalated very, very quickly. Everybody's seemingly calming down now, but Siri is being escorted off the field by his coaching staff, and they're trying to get him off the field. The Brewers and Rays all surrounding each other between home and first base. Abner Uribe is in the dugout, and it looks like it might take a second to sort this all out for the umpiring crew. Ricky Weeks is wandering out there. Remember, Pat Murphy already ejected. Freddie Peralta was ejected. And now punches were thrown in front of first base, and Jose Siri was in the middle of it. That got heated very quickly. Siri grounded out, and it was a 3-1 putout, so Uribe was at the bag as Siri was coming through the bag, and words were exchanged, and then things escalated from there. But this thing got escalated a couple of innings ago, and it didn't have to be, and a bunch of temperatures got raised as a result of it. Uribe looked back at Siri after he got to the first base bag, and then Siri started walking at him, and Uribe and Siri both looked like they threw punches.